After Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York in September 2024 on allegations of sex trafficking and racketeering, everyone was anticipating what would be revealed during the music mogul's trial. Here is all that we currently know about the events that transpired in the courtroom during the first week of the United States v. Sean Combs case. The prosecution and Combs' defense team agreed on a 12-member jury consisting of 8 men and 4 women, with 2 women and 4 men serving as alternates for the trial. This panel will determine the rapper's fate. During her introductory remarks, Prosecutor Emily Johnson charged Combs with utilizing a vast network of workers to commit crimes such as long freak-offs, which were described in the federal indictment. She told the jury, according to NBC News reporters in the courtroom, that he occasionally referred to himself as the king and demanded to be treated as such in order to satisfy all of his needs. Using his businesses, he coerced women into having sex with male escorts while he looked on. Made sure he obtained all he desired with the help of his close group. In her opening remarks, defense lawyer Tenny Garrigos claimed that the prosecution was attempting to convert consenting intercourse into sex trafficking. Garrigos informed the judge the issue concerns Sean Combs' private sexual life, which is unrelated to his legitimate commercial ventures. She informed the court that her client was aggressive, drugged, and prone to fury, adding, "There will be occasions during the trial when, quote, you believe he's a jerk. He is not charged with being a jerk or cruel, despite the fact that he is." Garrigos stated, "The evidence is going to show you a very flawed individual, but it will not show you a racketeer, a sex trafficker, or somebody transporting for prostitution." Los Angeles police officer Israel Flores testified on the witness stand on May 12. On March 5, 2016, Combs assaulted his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura while he was working as a security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel. Flores stated that on the morning in question he witnessed evidence of an incident and that Combs gave him a stack of money to turn away. Flores stated under cross-examination that he believed the gesture to be Combs' attempt to bribe him. Ventura was frightened, Flores stated on the stand, adding, "She was in the corner, hooded and covered up. She was essentially in the corner, so I couldn't see her face." On the ground was a flower vase that had been destroyed. Purple Eye Flores claimed that when Ventura left the hotel, he and the desk manager went upstairs to remind Combs of the property's regulations. Combs grabbed his phone because he believed the manager was recording him on it. Flores went on additionally. Flores said that he put Combs against a wall as he attempted to take his phone, saying, "We said, we are not recording you," and de-escalated the situation. Prosecutors played the CCTV tape of the incident, which was slowed down from what CNN had released in May 2024, and showed Combs beating, kicking, and dragging Ventura. The defense had already claimed that this sped-up video made the confrontation appear more violent than it actually was. Additionally, footage that Flores took on his mobile phone while answering a call from a lady in distress on the 6th level was given to the jury. Ventura refused to answer questions about what transpired and told him she simply wanted to go. So Flores testified that he did not contact the police at the time. Daniel Phillip, who claimed to have been operating a male stripper business at the time of Flores's testimony, stated that he received, quote, many $1,000s to have sex with. Phillip said that Combs was wearing a robe, a baseball cap, and a bandana covering his face when he was watching him at the Gramercy Hotel in Manhattan in 2012. Ventura paid him and promised to pay him when he left. Phillip told the judge, "We ended up having sex, rubbing baby oil on each other for a couple of minutes. Combs was sitting in a corner masturbating." The witness went on to say Ventura gave him a couple of thousand more. According to Phillip, he was hired several times throughout the next year to meet Ventura and Combs in a similar setting at various hotels in their own New York residences. According to him, Combs once or twice filmed him and Ventura having sex, and occasionally Combs would step in and have sex with Ventura while Phillip was present. She accused her ex of physical and sexual abuse in her 2023 lawsuit. Combs allegedly coerced Ventura into having sex with male prostitutes. Phillips stated on May 12 that Combs once tossed a bottle of alcohol at Ventura after she didn't answer his call. Then he grabbed her by the hair and pulled her into the bedroom. According to Phillips' testimony, she was yelling, and I thought, I heard him slap her from the adjacent room. According to Phillip, he overheard Combs' remark, I tell you to come here, but come here now, not later. Phillips said he did not step in because he was afraid. He also stated in his testimony that on another occasion at the Essex House Hotel in New York, he heard what sounded like Combs attacking Ventura. I heard her shouting, I'm sorry, Phillip recounted. As I turned the corner, I saw Mr. Combs leave the hotel completely naked after someone had been smacked and beaten about the room. Ventura, who may have been wearing a towel, testified that she leaped onto Phillip's lap after leaving the room, adding, she basically tried to convince me that it's okay and I'll be okay. I said, it is not okay and you need to get help. I made an effort to convince her that staying with him would put her in grave danger. Prosecutor Maureen Kami questioned him about why he didn't contact the police. According to Phillips' testimony, he believed that Combs was a man with unrestricted power and that, even if he went to the police, he might still kill him. May 13th, Cassie Combs' ex, Ventura, said that Combs regularly used violence against her throughout their sporadic dating from 2007 to 2018. Yes, there have been violent arguments that have typically resulted in physical abuse and dragging various things, she stated. He would knock me down, bash my head, pull me, and kick me. Her injuries were frequently apparent, she added, adding, I would get knots on my forehead, black eyes, red eyes, and bruises all over my body. Ventura informed authorities that Combs wanted voyeurism to be incorporated into their sexual interaction during the first year of their decade-long romance. In order to perform for Combs, who would see her with someone else, she first hired an escort and setup. In the end, she stated that planning sex acts, she started doing what she dubbed freak-offs, which might last anywhere from 36 hours to 4 days. I had the contacts to set it up in the hotel room and all that, she stated in her testimony. Sean set things up at the start. When he originally suggested the experience, Ventura said that her stomach turned over, saying I didn't have a concept of how that would be on, but I took up the duty. I felt anxious and perplexed, but I also cherished him and wanted to see him happy. I didn't want to be doing it, especially on such a frequent basis, Sue said. At some point, I felt like I didn't have much of a choice. Combs instructed Ventura and other freak-off participants to smear themselves with baby oil, according to Ventura's testimony. She stated in court Sean wanted it heated, and he wanted it to be glistening, so we applied it every 5 minutes. Ventura claimed that while she was still dressed, Combs urged her to enter an inflatable pool filled with baby oil at one of these freak-offs at the Montage Beverly Hills. Despite her reluctance, she stated, we used 10 bottles of baby oil. Regular size. Combs wanted it to happen, then it would. In one especially vivid instance, Ventura testified that there would be baby oil all over the hotel room following a freak-off. That there may have been pee on the covers if Combs had told someone to urinate on her, and that there might have been blood on the bedding if she was menstruating at the time, as well as furnishings. Ventura said that she was embarrassed to be peed on. It was disgusting. It was too much, she told the court, and I choked. I didn't want to be doing that. And I was in a situation that was difficult for me to escape. I thought that it was obvious that I didn't want to do it. She said when asked why she didn't defy Combs' orders in these incidents by prosecutor Emily Johnson. In her testimony about the Intercontinental Hotel attack that was captured on camera, Ventura stated that she used ecstasy and alcohol during her first sexual encounter with an escort in front of Combs. She also claimed that she used marijuana, ketamine, mushrooms, or whatever drug was popular at the time to get through the coughs. I chose to leave, Ventura told the court when she testified on May 13th, claiming that Combs pursued her because he was upset that she had left a freak-off. I got out and Sean followed me into the hallway and grabbed me, shoved me to the ground, kicked me, dragged me back to the room and took my stuff. Although she hadn't intended to take part, she wanted to portray Kate Combs in a movie that was being released a few days later. She stated, "My premiere would go smoothly if I gave him a free cough." Having suffered a black eye as a result of the incident, Ventura recalled. "At this point, all I could think about was getting out of there safely, because I had my premiere and I didn't want to mess it up." Ventura said that when he shoved her to the floor in the corridor, she remained there because she didn't want him to cause any more harm than he already had. Ventura said on her second day of evidence on May 14th that Combs had physically attacked her in the hotel after throwing a vase at her. "I just remember it coming towards me," she remarked of the vase. "It struck the wall, but I was unharmed. He flung it at me as he was screaming at me." She said that Combs told her that I couldn't leave him, but I can't recall precisely what he said. "I'm sure he was referring to me by something other than my name." Shortly after the hotel incident, Ventura said that despite having cuts and bruises on her face and body, she had to go to the opening of her movie, The Perfect Match. "I had several bruises on my legs, so I changed my outfit," she stated, adding that she also had to use a lot of makeup to cover up her thick lip and black. She stated that the free coughs caused her to get mouth sores, urinary tract infections, and stomach problems. Ventura stated in court, "When we were having frequent free coughs, they were back to back, and sometimes I would do a free cough with the infection. I tried to flush it out with water. It got to the point where the antibiotic Cipro didn't work anymore. It was a mess," she went on. "It was really painful for a long time. Can't believe I actually dealt with that." According to Ventura's testimony, she ended her relationship with rapper Kid Cudi, his real name is Scott Muscati, at the end of 2011 because Combs threatened to blow up Scott's car. She told the judge, "Too much danger, too much uncertainty of what could happen if we continued to see each other." Sean declared that he would harm us both. According to Ventura's testimony, Combs brought her back to her apartment and sexually attacked her in 2018 after they had eaten together at a restaurant in Malibu. She said that at the time she was already seeing Alex Fine, whom she married in 2019. "I went inside. He came in and raped me on the living room floor," she testified in court. "I just remember crying and saying no, but it was very quick. He had dark eyes. He didn't feel like himself. It was like someone was stealing something from you." Ventura testified that she accepted a $20 million settlement from Combs after bringing a lawsuit against him in November 2023, claiming he sexually assaulted and physically abused her during their relationship. Combs' lawyers have insisted that he did not engage in non-consensual sex and that those who have accused him of sex crimes consented to whatever sexual activity they participated in. In her May 15th testimony, Ventura claimed that her ex had recorded the sexual performances in order to use them as blackmail against her. He threatened to reveal them, endangering her career. It was just a very typical occurrence for him to bring them up when he was furious about something, Ventura stated. "I was afraid for my family and my career. It's ugly and awful, just terrible. That shouldn't be done to anyone." The singer said in her testimony that Combs was frequently under the influence of narcotics. Ventura told NBC News that he needed to recover. "I would say he was an addict." And when defense attorneys asked if Combs would become angry or volatile while going through withdrawals, she agreed, stating, "I'm not a doctor. He would become really agitated when taking some medications." An alumnus of Danny Kaye after Cassie finished her testimony, Don Richard, who had started working with Sean Diddy Combs while participating in his program Making the Band in 2004, joined the stand. Following Danny Kaye's breakup, Richard joined Combs' group Diddy Dirty Money on May 16th, according to NBC News. Richard claimed that she witnessed Combs hitting Ventura in his Los Angeles home in 2009 with a pan full of eggs while she was on the witness stand. He threw her to the ground and tried to kick her when he returned downstairs to inquire where his phone was. She physically tried to conceal her head by falling to the ground and assuming the fetal posture. Richard said that before she heard the glass shattering. Combs wrapped his arm around the singer's neck and led her upstairs. He also claimed that after hitting Ventura with the skillet, "I was scared for her. I was scared to do anything." Judge Subramanian informed the jury that he thought the trial would be over. By July 4th, he stated that although the trial could take longer, he expected it would be over by then.